A law is loosened to help hurricane relief. A lack of truckers causes a delay, and a noose is found in a high school locker room. This is OU Nightly. In regards to recent devastation in Puerto Rico, President Trump has authorized a waiver that will loosen shipping rules. This will guarantee the needed equipment to repair damages caused by Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Maria.
That's right, Collin. So the waiver of the Jones Act went into effect immediately and will be in effect for 10 days. But it can be extended if needed. Now, Trump's decision was made in the interest of national defense, but Puerto Rico officials say it will help significantly.
In the meantime, some food, water, and other supplies have arrived in Puerto Rico's main port of San Juan, but a combination of the island's devastated infrastructure and a lack of truck drivers are holding back the transportation of this aid to areas where it is needed most. Only 20% of truck drivers have returned to work after Hurricane Maria, and reaching out others is difficult with cell towers down. In addition to all of this, a shortage of diesel fuel and plenty of blocked roads are making distribution difficult.
Allyson Stewart now joins us in the News Center with more on how the White House is handling the hurricane aftermath. Allyson.
Jaycie, today the White House assured reporters relief efforts in Puerto Rico are underway. Homeland Security Advisor Tom Bossert said despite reports from the media, means of transportation for the aid are being provided.
What you saw today, though, I think was some reporting and some loop footage of some trucks sitting on ports and docks. We're moving those trucks quickly. We're also prioritizing what needs to come off first.
The governor of Puerto Rico, Ricardo Rosello, calls Maria the single biggest catastrophe in the island's history. And Puerto Rico was struggling before the storm. It's been in recession for more than 10 years. Nearly half the residents live under the poverty level, and the unemployment rate is 10%. That's higher than any U.S. state. White House senior advisor Jared Kushner did not share the existence of his personal email account with the staff of the Senate Intelligence Committee. The chair and vice chair sent an official letter to Kushner's lawyer instructing him to double-check that he has turned over every document, including those from his personal email account. Louisiana Representative Steve Scalise returned to Capitol Hill today.
You have no idea how great this feels to be back here at work in the People's House.
This is Scalise's first time on the floor since he was shot at the congressional baseball team practice in June. Scalise plans to resume his job at the Capitol while continuing his recovery in outpatient rehabilitation. And Jaycie, the controversy over players kneeling during the national anthem continues today as Trump believes NFL owners are scared of their players.
Well, thank you, Allyson. Now, a wire noose was found hanging in an Enid High School locker room. Ponca City Junior High students found the noose prior to a game held at Enid High School's football stadium. Enid public school officials say the noose was made from a USB cord and was hanging from a shower stall. So both Enid and Ponca City school districts are investigating the matter.
Jaycie, it's been nothing but rain around here. I'm wondering if it will ever let up.
Exactly. So Jordan, can you tell us if there's any on the way for tonight?
So we do have some showers just to our south, and you can watch these. Here they are. Watch what happens as I put this into a loop. Here they come. They're kind of making their way towards Norman, but then they kind of dissipate. And so we're going to have a chance for a few more showers overnight tonight and later tonight. Just a few drops. Shouldn't be anything that major, but just a few more showers before the system finally starts to move out as we get into tomorrow. But temperatures are cooling off, sitting at the 67 degrees in Norman, 64 degrees in Ardmore. Notice in our panhandle, though, Guyman, 52 degrees. They're not going to be going much more further down or warmer. They're going to stay right where they are for about the next 24 hours, especially up there in the panhandle, and we'll be staying right where we are for about the next 24 hours. But coming up, we're talking about, we're finally drying out. And we're going to talk about how much rain we did see with this system. Like I said, we're going to be warming up, but we're not going to really get hot. So I'll talk about exactly what that means. But we have another big system on the way. All the details coming up. But for now, back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Jordan. Gaylord College's Presidential Dream Course, Journalism Under Siege, hosted a panel discussion last night inside the Gaylord Hall Auditorium. OU Nightly's Carson Williams has more on the forum.
Bias in the media has been a hot topic across the country over the last year, which is exactly what the discussion was centered around last night. The panel included Oklahoma Republican Party Chair Pam Pollard, non-doc editor and co-owner Trey Savage, OU College of Arts and Sciences Communication Department member Sonny Lee, and founding editor of Watchdog Uganda, Mike Sagawa. Gaylord faculty advisor Mike Betcher also moderated the event. Among the many topics discussed on Wednesday, Pollard was impressed with one thing in particular.
What I think we finally came down to the final conclusion of is that not necessarily that media is biased, but we have to understand where media is coming from, and when we understand where they're coming from, then now we know that it's more opinion as opposed to bias.
Fake news was brought up often in the discussion after the unfoldings of President Donald Trump since his election last November. A big factor in that has been the role of social media, and more specifically, Facebook. Pollard recognizes the significance that holds.
At this day and time, there's several definitions of fake news because us in the Facebook world, Facebook has had to make a policy change here in the last couple months because it wasn't just fake news, it was absolute made-up lies.
The crowd was able to ask a few questions for the panel, which prompted some thought-out, back-and-forth discussion. This topic certainly has an impact on many people and will only continue to grow until problems are resolved. Carson Williams, OU Nightly.
Next Wednesday, Journalism Under Siege will host former WEDJ reporter Sean Dwyer in a discussion called The Show Must Go On.
Now, still to come on OU Nightly, a celebrity leaves her mark on the medical field.
Plus, a piece of California found its home in Oklahoma. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Oklahoma Commission on Opioid Abuse will have a second meeting tomorrow at the Oklahoma State Capitol. The meeting will last from 8:30 in the morning to 4:15 in the afternoon. Both the morning and afternoon sessions will be available via live stream and will feature Attorney General Mike Hunter and members of the commission.
Now for an update on the Oklahoma State Department of Health's budget measures, Will Cornelius joins us in Health Beat. Will.
That's right, Jaycie. Today, the Oklahoma State Department of Health requested a special audit by State Auditor and Inspector Gary Jones. This comes one day after the OSDH announced its plan to furlough employees due to a budget and operating cash shortfall. The department formed an internal audit team in July, but now says an outside review will be beneficial as it works to meet budget limitations. And even though the Senate will not vote on the Graham-Cassidy bill, President Trump is still looking to shake up the healthcare landscape.
I am considering an executive order on associations, and that will take care of a tremendous number of people with regard to health care.
And President Trump has long opposed regulations on individuals on how they buy their health care insurance. Well, Angelina Jolie may not be a doctor, but she is impacting the medical field. A study by researchers at Weill Cornell Medicine in Australia confirmed the Angelina Jolie effect. After her announcement in 2013 to undergo a double mastectomy, researchers found a significant increase in the number of double mastectomies performed in the months following. And the CDC reports record numbers for STD cases. The latest numbers show that there were more than 2 million new cases of gonorrhea, syphilis, and chlamydia in the U.S. in 2016. Chlamydia is the most common with more than 1.6 million cases on record. Known as the silent infection, it often goes untreated as most carriers show no symptoms of the disease. Officials say funding cuts in prevention, education, and healthcare programs are to blame for the rise in sexually transmitted diseases. And Collin and Jaycie, there was a 50-year-old man in the UK that actually underwent lung tumor surgery, and turns out it was just a toy that he swallowed when he was only 7 years old.
7, wow.
Well, hopefully it tasted good. I don't know.
I hope it was worth it.
Thank you, Will. So a new district is under construction in Oklahoma City. OU Nightly's Daisy Creager reports on the ongoing Wheeler District development plan.
The Wheeler District is a mixed-use area on the south bank of the Oklahoma River. The property was purchased in 2006, but plans were put on hold when the recession hit. Things picked back up in 2013, and the first piece of the development, a Ferris wheel, opened last July. This summer, developers have been taking on the challenge of getting people to linger and stay near the Ferris wheel instead of riding the wheel and leaving.
So we added the bocce court, we added a set of hammocks, the hammock grove that kind of slowly winds along the Oklahoma River. we added a swing set, and then we also added a food truck. So we have a food truck that comes out each night in parks.
Development of the full 150 acres of land is expected to take 20 to 25 years and will include a new elementary school, a wide range of housing, office space, and restaurants. Terry says the next phase of the project, expected to start in the next 2 weeks, is going to focus on housing.
We'll have townhomes, tiny homes, we'll have single-family homes, apartments. So we kind of think that from day one, we're really going to have a little village for people to come live in and enjoy.
Until more of the district is developed, people can still enjoy the Ferris wheel, which has food trucks each night, a bike race every Tuesday, and public art that's great for selfies.
It's very laid back. It's very, hipster. It's very now. It has hammocks. It has games. It has a big Ferris wheel. So it's very fun.
The district bought the Ferris wheel on eBay for $1 million in 2008. It used to be on the Santa Monica Pier. You can take a ride Tuesday through Sunday. Daisy Creager, OU Nightly.
The Wheeler District expects to welcome its first residents and its first commercial businesses next year. If you'd like more information, you can visit the website. It's wheelerdistrict.com.
Still ahead on OU Nightly, a storied football matchup takes place tonight.
And Jordan has more on these low temps. Jordan?
That's right, we've got some cooler temperatures right now, but will they stick around? I'll let you know after the break. Hey, I'm Jordan over to look at your weather. So obviously right now we just have some clouds inside the area, but not too bad. The rain has moved off. We're just seeing overcast conditions at this time. That's what we're going to continue to see. 67 degrees, east-northeast winds around 9 miles an hour. Notice our dew point has actually come up a little bit in the past few hours, so it feels a little bit more humid than it did this morning. But that's going to start moving off. We've been talking about rain. How much rain did we get? Past 5 days, Lawton, 4.8 inches of rain. No dimension that station near there. Norman at 2.5 inches. Oklahoma City right around 3.9. Even up in Miami, 1.3 inches. But unfortunately, for southeast Oklahoma, only 1/100th of an inch. So they missed out this time, but they will have a chance for some storms coming up late next week where they could get some rain. So there's a system here. This is a system that we had that's given us all this rain the past few days. That's going to start moving off to our northeast. But watch our high. This is what we call a high. We call it a ridge. This typically means dry weather. This sometimes means sunny weather. Watch what it does. So here's our next system way off to the northwest. There's cooler air with it. There's a cold front, but it doesn't quite make its way towards our area thanks to this ridge that's sitting right here. And watch what happens on Tuesday. And then we see Wednesday, that starts to move off to the west. Here comes our system. Here comes a cold front. That's going to give us another chance for showers and thunderstorms coming late next week. So what does this mean? This means for the weekend, it's looking dry. Just a few showers in far northwestern Oklahoma and the Panhandle on Sunday. Then on Monday, sunny skies reaching the 80s, very low 80s. But then after that, we'll kind of get right around the 80s again, drop back into the upper 70s. But then that'll move off. And then we'll have another cool shot coming in, giving us a chance for showers and thunderstorms for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week. So lows tonight, again, sitting into the 60s. We're not going to go much from where we are now. Just going to drop a little bit off once the sun goes down. Notice 55 off on the Panhandle for tomorrow. A little bit more sun. We'll finally start to see some more sun getting into the 70s by then. Then for your highs, only reaching the 70s. But then in Idabel, reaching 84 degrees. That'll be the warm spot. Then 7-day forecast, again, drying out and still cool. Then once we get to Saturday, we'll be slightly warmer, but not too much warmer. Then we extend that out. 81 degrees of sunny skies on Monday. Next system moves in on Wednesday and Thursday of next week.
I like seeing all those 70s.
Yeah, I was like, I'm a fan of the rain.
There you go.
Well,
Thanks,
thank you, Jordan.
Shiloh Sooner fans finally get a break this week after a scare down in Waco.
That's right, guys. Fans get a break, but the Sooners will be hard at work prepping for Iowa State. And former Ravens linebacker doesn't just take one knee, he takes two. Sports is straight ahead. Welcome back. This week, the Sooners have a bye week, but it will be anything but relaxing for the boys in Crimson. Last week's game against the Baylor Bears proved to be a tougher win than anticipated. The defense showed some weak spots during that game, reminiscent of last season when the Sooners ranked 82nd in total defense. But head coach Lincoln Riley has shown that he is anything but satisfied, constantly pushing for the Sooners to make improvements.
I think regardless of whether you're coming off a loss or a tough win or a blowout, whatever it is, you gotta be motivated in the bye week, and I think it's about each individual team. And do you approach the bye week like we're going to be on cruise control and just get through it so we get to the next game week, or do you approach it with the mentality that, hey, we have to get better right now? And based on what I've seen so far this week, that's been the mentality of our team.
And Oklahoma women's tennis is back on the road, headed to Boulder, Colorado for the Colorado Invitational taking place this weekend. The Sooners will be represented by seniors Maylene Strip, Christina Briganti, Simran Sethi, and newcomer Nimran Javjinsky. They started doubles play today, and tomorrow back-to-back singles will take place. And the Sooner volleyball team dropped another match last night against North Texas. OU kept it close in the first set, but UNT finished the set on a 5-0 run, and it was all mean green from there, guys. The loss is the Sooners' 7th straight as they dropped to 3-12 on the season, the worst in Santiago Restrepo's tenure as coach. And a historic matchup takes place tonight. The all-time series between the Bears and the Packers is tied 94-94 with 6 ties, but the Packers have been the more dominant team in recent years. They've won 13 of the last 15 matchups to even the series, and tonight at Lambeau Field, the Packers have the chance to take the series lead for the first time since 1933. The NFL is also active off the field. Texans rookie quarterback Deshaun Watson donated his first paycheck to 3 cafeteria workers at NRG Stadium who were affected by Hurricane Harvey.
Hey, how are y'all? For what y'all do for us every day and never complain. I really appreciate y'all. So I wanted to give my first game check to y'all to help y'all out some type of way. So here you guys go.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Can I give you a hug?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
To take or to not take a knee, that is the question. For 57,000 petition signers, the answer certainly is not to take 2 knees. Following Ray Lewis's choice to take 2 knees and pray during the Ravens game Sunday, a petition to remove the former Ravens linebacker statue in front of Baltimore's M&T Bank Stadium is making ground. So much ground, in fact, that the stadium has increased its presence of uniformed security officers. In light of the petition, Lewis still stands strong on his decision.
I'm watching young kids just confused. Everybody confused. Nobody don't know what they're talking about. What I'm gonna do? If I'm gonna stand up, if I'm gonna grab hands, if I'm gonna interlock, what am I gonna do? So I walked away, JB, and I didn't drop on 1 knee in order to protest. Boom, I dropped on 2 knees, both knees, so I can simply honor God in the midst of chaos. And we got people standing, we got people bowing, we got people don't even want to respect the flag. If we want to make it right, make it 2 ways. You can only stand or pray. I saw my mother praying one day, and I said, Mama, why are you praying on your knees? She said, son, when you got chaos in your life, this is where you go.
And Lonzo Ball hasn't played an NBA game yet, but the Laker rookie's rap career is taking off. Ball released his 2nd single, ZO2, named after his latest shoe.
What you rockin' ZO2s? I'm blowing past some ZO2. You know I got a ZO2. Pay respect and pay your dues. Switching lanes, ZO2. I changed the game, ZO2.
And guys, this just in, Lamont Evans, the OSU assistant coach that was accused of bribery, has been fired.
Big news there, that corruption continuing to ongo. Interesting stuff.
Thank you, Shiloh.
Still to come on OU Nightly, the world loses a pop culture icon.
Stay with us.
I'm Cheyenne Plummer at the OU Nightly Update Desk. The OU Board of Regents will meet this Sunday in Oklahoma City to discuss OU President David Boren's retirement and who to pick for his replacement. That's it for now. Jaycie?
Thank you, Cheyenne. The original Playboy Hugh Hefner died yesterday in the Playboy Mansion at 91 years old. Hefner will leave the legacy of founding Playboy magazine, the magazine that changed the world's view of sexuality. While some think he started the decline of humanities, others credit him with the sexual revolution. Nevertheless, Hefner will be remembered as the man who truly embodied the life he promoted.
Thank you guys for watching OU Nightly.
Brought to you by the Gaylord College of Journalism and Mass Communication. Catch us live tomorrow at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.